Alaskan fisheries have suffered for decades from the effects of ocean acidification. Alaskan waters are particularly vulnerable to warming due to the fact that cold waters absorb more carbon dioxide from the atmosphere than warmer waters do. In 2014, according to an article from sciencemag.org, the pH levels in the 4 seas that ring Alaska, the Chukchi, Beaufort, Bering, and Gulf of Alaska, has dropped by 0.1 units since the Industrial Revolution and is forecast to lower about another 0.4 units by the end of the century. Organisms, crabs, and fish are negatively impacted by the increasing acidity of the water. As the rise in levels of atmospheric CO2 causes global warming, oceans are also warming and becoming more acidic. In Alaska, communities rely on fisheries to feed themselves and their families. Their economy also relies on the fishing industry. Thus, the rise in ocean acidification, which kills species of fish, directly leads to a decrease in economic revenue and a decrease in food available for these communities. Specifically, in the Bering Sea, blue king crabs are affected by a decrease in ocean pH. According to an article from NOAA, reduced pH, particularly at the pH 7.5 level, caused a change in morphology, reduced growth, and increased mortality. The waters around Alaska have seen increasing rates of SSTs, and these temperatures have been above the global average rate for the past 60 years. One solution to the rise in ocean acidification is for species to adapt to the lower pH. However, this may not work since populations are already being depleted, so species may not have time to adapt. Another solution in the grand scheme of things is to reduce CO2 emissions, which ultimately led to the ocean acidification. According to Chapter 13, the world's oceans have absorbed about 93% of the excess heat caused by greenhouse gas warming since the mid-20th century. These greenhouse gases are emitted through human activities, so it is ultimately up to us to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions. We can reduce our carbon footprint through using less energy at home, driving less and flying less, and reusing and recycling.